Shalom Ashpaka. This is going to be a detailed video of the scriptures that I'm being led to say that they are the correct ones that I think that we should be looking into if we want to dive deeper into the word of Yahweh. I'm going to point out some ones right now. Right now I'm on the Wikipedia and I am on the biblical translations into Hebrew. Right here I'm going to go over the Ibarit or Hebrew New Testament that has been translated from the Greek. I believe it was the Greek Septuagint, which would be the oldest form of Greek. It would be the Koine Greek. That was the common Greek that was used during the time. Here we have the first New Testament was translated into Ibarit by Elias Hutter in his polyglot or multilingual edition. He has translated it into these languages in the 1599 and 1600 in 2 volumes. Some individual books were translated before Hunter's complete New Testament, such as those down there. If we come down to the New Testaments, here we can see the New Testament written by Hunter in 12 languages. However, that was revised by William Robinson. It was revised. Mashpaka, something you should know about revisions is that it is not always a bad thing. If you want to have the original text and use that, you would want to go with the most earliest form of that original text and not have revisions of that text. However, when you are doing translations from a language to another language, you would want the most newest revised version of that translation to make sure that it is edited correctly. And here it has been revised again. Here is a bunch of different revisions and how important they are, because this is 𐤎𐤐𐤓, John 3:16, and they are using different Hebrew words for this exact sentence, this exact verse. It is very important, Mashpaka, because what you choose to read is going to be what you are going to root yourself in beliefs. I am currently seeking to go through these and figure out which one I particularly would want to agree with. However, I'm pointing out how someone else would want to study this along with the lexicon, a word dictionary for these books, along with the concordance to get a verse correlation to other verses, as well as an interlinear that they could have for studying. I would like to point out something right here through my readings that led me to a new path. The first edition of the New Testament of Frank Delswich, which is he is a very popular person for the New Testament that is in Hebrew. This person has multiple editions, which the last one was revised by Delswich himself. The first edition was based off of the Codex Sinaiticus. There is a whole story with the Codex Sinaiticus behind it, that it is owned by the British Foreign Bible Society. They purchased this codex from the Soviet Union or Russia for, I believe, 9 million, whatever amount that was. I don't know what it was, the dollar amount, but if you convert it to dollars, it's $12 million. They bought the Facsimile edition of this codex. This codex right here, is the original, oldest, complete scripture of any language that we have right now. This one. And it is in Greek. This is basically the Septuagint. The Septuagint is this right here, the Codex Sinaiticus. It was written during 350 AD, during the 4th century. Here is a basic reading of it, of what it is, as well as another very old codex. This one is held in the Vatican libraries, that they're storing them in the vaults. Personally, I am seeking to go with this one, as I cannot be just a library that affords all of these books. These codexes are expensive. You will want to get familiar with Koine Greek, or also known as Hellenistic Greek or Common Greek. It is the Septuagint Greek New Testament. What I'm showing you right now, Mashpaka, is what I'm leading to go along with studying from here on out. I have the West Leningrad Codex, the Fasimol, which is the oldest complete Hebrew Old Testament scripture that we have. It is on Rare Biblio website, and this is the Fasimol edition, so that is the exact picture copy of this scripture, and it's on this website, and you can customize the books. You can add different prints and things and such, and make it a really nice book, and it comes with notes and stuff with it too. Here are some websites for the codex so you can read it. Mashpaka, I want to brag about this website. This is called archive.org. You can literally look up any book almost, and they have it. And they have where you can click on them and see the entire book. I don't know why it's like that, but you can scroll through the entire books, page by page. This is a Fasimol edition, a white and black old script of the old copy of the Codex Sinaiticus. You can read it for free. I believe that there are versions of the Codex Sinaiticus that are both complete Old Testament and New Testament, and it is the oldest complete scripture that we have. Mashpaka, this is the Bibliorum Codex Sinaiticus. I know these words are sounding pretty crazy, but look how clear the picture is for this. Okay, there is a 5-volume set. The end one is an appendix. Over here you have the multiple versions, the multiple volumes for them. So you can click on them, and then you can see down here how many pages there are. Mashpaka, if you wanted to buy the original Fasimol edition of this scripture, it's in very nice condition on this website. However, some of the pages are damaged. I believe some of them are, because they have deteriorated over time. And the scripture is a whopping $1,000 for it, for the Fasimol edition. However, Mashpaka, I found an exact copy for half the price. Half the price, Mashpaka. And it is the exact copy of that scripture. You can also buy that Fasimol edition on Rare Biblio, their website. However, it is $1,000 on here. I have chosen to go with the Bibliorum Codex Sinaiticus, and there are multiple volumes that they have on this website because it is much cheaper. And I am completing the set, as well as getting some other ones, because I believe that this Bibliorum is a newer date, and it is an exact copy pretty much of that, and its pages are not messed up. However, I will decide eventually. I will come to the conclusion of which ones do I want. Do I want the Bibliorum, or do I want the Facsimile edition that is half price? So, Mashpaka, I have covered the most complete Facsimile edition, Facsimile being the exact copy of the oldest complete Hebrew Bible that we have, the Leningrad Codex, which is the codex that is used on Blue Letter Bible's website, their app. This is what they are reading off of, their Hebrew text. And I've also gone over the Codex Sinaiticus, which is the original Septuagint, the original Greek text, the oldest version of it, and where to get it. I have also showed you where you can go and look up to get the oldest original versions of the Hebrew New Testament. So you also have that as well. Currently, as the English scripture that I have, the most complete Bible that I have right now, that I read from, that has 103 books in it, including, I believe, 37 Apocrypha books, is Yah Scriptures. They have an excellent version of this book for $97. It was originally $90. They went up in price. And it is a very well-made book. So there you have it, Mashpaka. That is just kind of an understanding of some scriptures. If you are wanting to dive in deeper and really want to get to know the Word, I hope that you do not take my word for it all the way. This is just me bringing up the subject, really, the ideas and the points that I have that are being shared with me along my journey. That is all, Mashpaka. I palal that Yahweh is forever in your hearts and speaks with your every move. Shalom, shalom.